G'day mate, this is part 3 of how to put twin dogs on a G272. I still haven't been able to find if they're factory or not, but this is the way I'm doing it. I'm using twins off a 372 on a 272. So I'll show you how it's done. So this is what I've changed so far. Now, last video I showed you I had Phillips head screws. Now, if anyone's ever worked with Australian hardboard, it's like concrete, it really is. So I've changed it to hex head screws. They're 75 mils long. The heads are 3/8. And it's strange. In Australia, metric, they advertise at 75 mils, but the head is advertised as 3/8, which is just weird. Anyway, I've threaded these because I want to be able to adjust it with my ratchet, so I don't strip them out. Because if I was using Phillips heads, you'd strip these out real quick. You can put them in once, but if you do it 1 or 2 times, now I can open this up, glide down on the bar. I put a 20-inch bar in there. I wish I had a shorter bar, 16-inch would be better because it's not on the road. I can bite the jig right up against the dogs and work out where things are and all the rest of it. Now, first thing I do is cut part of the original one off. If you look, when I put this on last time, the original factory dog there sticks out past the new one. So I want to be able to align where everything is and to remove these points first before I can do that. Otherwise, the jig won't work. I need the jig up hard against the new one and I can measure back off that. So I'll go and angle grind that off. Okay, looking from above, I can see that I need to take some off this point here and some off the next one. Not much, so I'll take half an inch, something like that, and nip off that so my jig will line up. So got my safety gear on and I'll cut this off. Use a thin blade, your best. That should be fine there. Yeah, that should be fine. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit. I'll knock them pieces off because they've been over and I'll put the jig on. Okay, slide the thing up. I marked everything top so I know where I am at all times. It's sitting on the bolt or the hex head screw. Go for the shaft. You see the screws? Those screws will let you sit on the actual bar itself. As you can see this. Yeah, it's there somewhere. Yeah, there you go, there's the bolt. So sit that on the bar itself. Let it hang down with the weight. Slide it up to the new dog. And last time I made allowances for the 2 spikes in the middle. So you slide up the upper spike and the lower spike. Tighten her up so you can't move. So I screw it in the middle. Top and bottom evenly, that you can. Tell you how it's tight stuff. I did screw these screws into. Threw the original ones away because they have a habit of breaking once you use it a few times. So a previous threaded. Now don't make it too tight, but it's one each snug. All one's done now. Top one. So now that shouldn't move. I'll show you guys. And there you can see when we're getting there. So we're touching that part of the spike there and touching that part of the spike there. Now get a square, cup and square, and run a line across the side here. Work out where I have to sit. You get the inner spike. And the inner spike I've got actually, where's that? I've got 2 inner spikes. And because Paul's been a good man, I've got a Chinese copy inner spike. I've actually got a factory inner spike. Now the factory one is the same thing as the one of those 272, which is weird. So the claim one's a lot thinner. So you see the difference there. They're not the same. Slightly thicker. Probably one's magic, one's imperial. So they came off 372. But But I'll give me Carpenter's square. Looks like it's not going to be as simple as I thought. I need a kid's pencil, but anyway, before the go is, I have to do this off camera. Line your set square up with the straight edge of the timber here. Give yourself a 90-degree mark, and run your pencil along here. You'll have to get a thinner pencil. Run your line. I might have to do this way. Make a line that way. I'll use me black texture. I'll do this off camera. Hang on. Okay, so you see the permanent marker there. On the side, now give me a reference point where to put the dog, and as long as the top spike on the dog lines up at the top and the bottom spike lined up to the bottom, it should be perfect. So now I have to work out where I'm going to sit the thing and measure it, cut it, roll it up, and it should be exactly where I want it. Yeah, I'll pull that off and I'll reline that. Hang on. Right, there's the two lines I put in there. Now the important part is make sure you've got a parallel between the two blocks. You can't, I just top this bottom one up. You can't leave one out, because if you measure off this side here, you throw that measurement there off, and I try to get things as most accurate as I can. I'll put it down there and square over it. Everything carpentry with timber. Let me square up. Way I know where I am at all times. It's permanent marker. There we go. So that's your measurement. Put that back on the saw and work out where I have to cut the dogs. Okay, next mistake I made. I didn't tighten these nuts up enough, so the whole jig moved up. So now I've pulled it back down. So in retrospect, I'd probably design so the bar was resting on a bolt. But because the timber's on the deck and all the rest of the crap, but I realigned where the lines are, so the upper line's where I have to go, and I now have to work out where the other spike sits. Anyway, first cut in the inner dog. You see the bracket for this part here is hitting the muffler bracket, so I cut that off the angle grinder, so it'll allow me to sit where it's supposed to sit. I'll get that done. I'll try and show you guys. I got a vice clamp here, vice grip, and a small one. I've lined up where the upper spike goes. How to film this? Upper spike is in line with the line. You probably have to go into the wood just a bit, not much, like half a mil for that. I'll work that out when I angle on it. Now what you have to do now is get something sharp and scribe a backing plate, or work out, can I cut more off this, which I probably will. So I cut the lump there off that, so it's a straight line, because it's easy to work out what's to what. I'll probably straight line that part just there all the way up to the top. Then I'll do a straight line on the original one, and probably have to go straight through, I'd imagine. Does that feel? Yeah, I'm going to do a straight line to about here, and then come back to that. Yeah, just simple things like that. Work out there that sits after that, then scrub it around here, cut the original end off, and butt weld it up. And I don't want to do a completely straight line. I prefer to have a curve, because you have more surface area. And more surface area, you have less chance of breaking and warping and stuff like that. So that's the plan. I'll cut straight down to here, to that hole there, and I'll come across. Get done there. Now this is the time-consuming part. So now I've worked out. I'll move this to the upper mark. You guys can see that. That's the upper mark there. I'll vice clamp this to the inner dog, which I'll do that now. I should show you how much I cut off the original. So I cut that part there off and that there off, and because of that, there's a bit of a hollow. So which is the weld will fix it up. I'm going to bore with welding. Get it back up where it should be. Wrong one. That's why it doesn't fit. Back where it is. So you can see it fits in there nice. I have to cut that part there out the top. I cut the inner guts there out. You can see how there's a space just here. I have to weld that up, or a bit of a space, but that's easy enough done. So I get the vice clamps on there, and I'll show you what you do. So you can look at that through the top. You can't really see it in the camera, but you got to use your eyes and just make sure when you clamp this up, you push it hard against the line, hard against the timber, make sure everything lines up. Look where your spikes are, make sure they look like they're uniform with the side parallel, and then you get a scribe. Look at this scribe. So I can't do this in the camera because I can't hold everything, but you get a scribe, something sharp and pointy, and run it down to give witness mark. Once you got your whole witness mark on all sides, or basically the side that you want to weld to, so the witness mark will go down this side here. When I cut the saw, I cut the spike, the original part fall. So when you need to do that, run your witness mark all the way down, line it all up, down here somewhere. We'll have to go right down here too. About there, grind it back, weld it up, dummy fit, make sure it fits nice. Give it a quick clamp or whatever else, but I give it a quick zap and zap. I should have pointed out before when I was doing grinding. There's petrol in the sauce still, so you make sure you put a towel or something over so the sparks can't get to petrol and cause fires and stuff. But just you want a quick like zap and hold where it should be. Verify it's correct with your jig, and that's it. It's quite simple as that. So now I'll have the chain catch on as well. It'll keep the bar chain out of the dirt and Bobby your uncle type thing. But I hope Paul will like this because it will make this saw a lot more. When it's got a 24-inch bar, all it wants to do is sit in the dirt, and it's a pain. But it's one of those things. I like to trick things up if I can. That's all I do. When it's marked, grind it, clean it. It's like making a rust repair tablet patchwork. Work it with your angles and patches and stuff like that. But with this up here, you use it any sort, as long as these holes here are lined up and stuff like that. But I never got a chance to do Darcy's little Klein 380. He took it back home, but he said he wasn't worried. So that's what I have to do. Well, get this weld up. I should show you, otherwise you might get lost. I use this scribe to scribe it in, or pointer, or whatever you want to call it. It's pretty blunt, but I did think the hardest part of this whole saw was up here, so I had to angle this way and drag it up there. But that's what I'm left with. So I cut back to that line, just to that line. So once I kiss the line, I'll refit this up against it, see how it feels. Put vice grips on it and give it a zap, and it should be fine. But that extra piece here, that 90 degrees just there, that will add structural strength to it. If you get stuck in a log and you try and twist your saw a bit, it won't just snap off. And if you weld it properly, it shouldn't snap off anyway. But it's just nice to add a bit more structure to your weld. Like I've done some weld with me mates and stuff. So more of an angle if you're doing more length gives you more surface area, gives you more strength. I've been told you. I'll get that done now. Okay, the other part I suppose I should show if everyone's trying to do this, I might as well show all the parts. With these bits, that's what I'm left with the factory spike. So you see there's not much there no more, it's all been cut off. That's roughly where you go. I'm saying roughly. So when you're in a modify, when you put it all together, if it's too tight, don't worry too much about it. Don't touch this one at all. Pull this one out and hit the angle grinder on this one. I'll probably have to take some just there off. But grind this one before you start knocking around this one. This one we bowled up to the saw left on there. Once you get everything lined up, you go zap, and then you know you're correct where your lines up. Make sure it's flush like that, parallel. Same thing as the same thing. This is beautiful. That's what I do. Now, when you do your welding, if you want a good job, grind all surfaces that you have to weld, including the back part. So I had to grind where the circle was on this part here, or inside that spike, and see it with brake cleaner, because say getting the oil off. So this saw is a bit of a leaker. I think I might have to go back into where the pickup is and glue the pickup. Oil pumps seem to be my specialty when it comes to fixing things. There was leak on my chainsaws. I'm not sure why. Probably it's Chinese, but size. But anyway, that's it. I'll put that part on there, line up, give it a zap. As you can see, there's not much of the original dog left. I sort of show you guys that. So the spike used to come out somewhere here, but I coloured it off there, match the parts up. So they will sit like roughly like that once it boils up. So I'll put the jig back on, work out where it sits, cover this with a towel so it can't catch on fire, and a couple of tags, and then pull back up and boil it up properly, grind it and fix it. But as I said, grind this one back first if it doesn't fit, which I probably won't because I didn't go too close to the line. On the line, didn't go further than that, but it will be different. I see it rocking there, so that part there will have to be grinded, I suppose. Yeah, I'll get to that. Well, this takes me back to the old days, cutting rust out of vanes and Hollands and Fords and that. I haven't adjusted this at all, just put it in there to see if it fit. I've got the lines lined up, so unless you guys can see that. Pull that jump shit back. So probably can't. But they're lined up there. Like I turned my camera off accidentally. They're lined up. They visually look like they're lined up. They're hard up against the timber. So you see it lined up there. Looking down a bit hard with the camera. There. So it's got lined up there. That one there, because the camera's on the left hand side of this phone. That one there's lined up, it's on the line. So that's the jig set up. So I'll zap it here, just there, and probably zap it there. I don't want to go too crazy because I'll burn the saw, paint off the saw. So I'll put a piece of metal or something beside the saw to get rid of any sparks, but along those vice grips and some big ones here, that holds it where I want it. I've got it flush, it feels good. And I'll do that and weld it all up and paint it and should be right done. Right, it's done. Okay, I put 3 little tags there. So it's still hot. That's weld up tags. So I don't want to put any weight on the end there until I weld it up. So I'll pull it off the saw and weld on the bench, grind it and clean it up. This is what you end up with when you finish welding. As soon as I grind it all back, be nice. Weld both sides. Make sure it's nice and tough. But a lot of penetration, got hot, nice. I kept the heat off as much as I could because this is hardened steel, the original one, or the Husqvarna one. So just grind it back and paint it. Very exciting for me. I finished it, put it together. The dogs are still a bit wet from paint, so I have to say to you guys, support it longer, would you? Because this guy, without him, I wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I've done. He supplied these chains and bars cheap to me, just so I could do my video channel. Nice guy. Now, 372 on a 272. I mashed up. So it's got the chain catcher there to keep the bar out of the dirt. It's almost 100%. I worked out too, the one there, the nuts are got, the bolts are a little play. So this top part's out just in just a little bit that way. I need to undo it and pull it back out, but it's almost perfectly so. It's pretty good for me. So I'm happy with that. Okay, my clothes. But yeah, I'm happy with that. It's gonna go good. Beautiful, beautiful. So now I can log the thing in and use all the torque I want to, but yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, muck around with these guys if you want double twins or whatever else. Yeah, you make yourself a jig and you can do this too. Alright guys, over and out. Thanks for watching.